I've reached a pivotal moment in my life. In my book, Inspire Your Mind to Enlighten Your Soul, I reference this very specific person within it. In the Heartbreak chapter, someone I really held high regard, and I saw so a beautiful future with them. I get a lot of signs that they're my person. You would be married, but the signs it's not enough anymore. So I literally just blocked their number. Now, normally you would have a conversation with someone before it reaches that point. But a week ago, I messaged them because we were messaging regularly. But then they just got ill. So I just said, look, I hope you're doing well today. I'm just saying something nice. Ask if they're okay. I hope you're doing well and you're recovering. And it's been over a week and I haven't received a reply. So in that instance, me explaining anything further or saying anything, I think it's just mute is pointless. I'm not going to keep bashing my head against a wall. With this person specifically, like when we have attention on each other, um, I don't doubt the connection. I think I think we were made for each other, to be totally honest. But sometimes people make the different decisions. Like we all have freedom of choice. You know, we all have that ability within us to make our own decisions. Doesn't always mean it's going to be the right decisions. Each of us can make bad choices. But what I feel, although we have attributes that perfectly balance each other, I don't really feel when I reflect that they've ever prioritized me. I've always felt like I'm on the outside, sort of vying for their attention at times. And it's like, I don't like feeling like that. I don't want to be someone's second choice, third choice, fourth choice. And that's how it feels. And it's like, I've reached a point where as much as I admire them and I love all the attributes they have as a person, it's like, I can't put up with it anymore. And what it's done is the more you feel second choice all the time, and every decision they've made, sometimes reckless, it doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't make you feel good at all, and it loses that spark. So now it's a case of, if, for instance, even if they gave you attention, it'd be in the back of my mind for how long? For how long and why now? And then you look at the circumstances. Oh, now you need me. Now you see the value in your life because because I have these attributes, and in your current circumstance, that would actually be beneficial now. But wasn't as interesting before. I'm not trying here to criticize anyone, but it's like sometimes we can put people on pedestals, and in some ways they deserve to be put on a pedestal. They deserve to have that, but we also deserve that too. So yeah, I've drawn a line in the sand. I've blocked him, and it's just a new chapter now. So I consider some people are like the one, if you like. Doesn't mean you can't have romantic partners or soulmates as well. Like I just personally think there's like one perfect person for us, and it doesn't always happen. I think rarely does it. And I found my one. That's how I feel. But it doesn't mean that in the future, like let's say I'm married one day and it doesn't mean you don't love them with all your heart and the connection isn't beautiful. I just think some people are they're literally your one. No, it's hard to explain it. I get a lot of signs around it, which has made it even more amplified, which is why you sort of like give it as long as you can. It's complicated, different countries. It's not for me to tell their story, but things have happened to make it even more surreal, really. For instance, it's hard to go into without saying too much. But for instance, I knew them when they were coming out of a divorce or separation. I didn't know them before that. I literally met them through someone else. And they were literally going through that period. It was a very difficult time for them. They're very emotional. It wasn't, it wasn't very good between them. So, I'm just at the tail end of that, and I'm trying to help them, give them advice, like keep them strong, focus on this, then focus on that, then focus on that. Just give them some sort of structure rather than like let everything compound on you. Try and ease them. And of course, with different countries, it's a long distance. You're just talking online, or talking on the phone, all these sort of things. But the connection's brewing, and you're building that, the rapport. But they needed their healing. They needed to take time for themselves, which makes sense. You come out of such a situation. At that point, I think I'd been healing for 4 or 5 years, so it's like I understood the process. See, that's what you're thinking. I don't want to go too deep into it all, but then fast forward. Now now they're in a relationship, and a year later or so, now they've got a child. And it's like, oh, that's escalated quite quick. Even though I've always known that's my person, and everything is just like completely fast forward into more, more, more. And look, I've been through that before, where you take on someone's child and you live that life, and it was my world. So it's not like I'm incapable of doing it, but I always felt like it'd be nice to have when you step into a relationship, you can have time with that person first. Now, life isn't ideal; you don't always get that, of course. But it just seems to be you just jump a step all the time with these situations. You don't get that period together where you can. So again, it raises the question: even if someone was interested in that situation, are you just interested because you know I'm a stable parent, because you know I can fulfill those duties? Because I don't want to be just someone takes me is interested in me because of my parenting abilities. Far more than that. Um, this person told me a long time ago, like when we first met, like shortly into it, that as a child they made a wish, and everything I am was what they wished for as a child. And I often think it's not necessarily the wish you made. I think personally, like we innately know what we want, and the universe already had it planned. So you making that wish was really just a confirmation that you already knew what you wanted, and it already existed, and it was already there for you. Now, I could have that all wrong, so let's not just stick to it too much and just say, "Oh, they've made all the bad." Maybe they made the right choices for themselves. Maybe they have. But let's say we were meant to be together. There's so many decisions along the way where I wasn't prioritized. You could have, it could have happened there. 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 But instead, you just kept choosing someone else. And it's like I don't want to be just an option, a backup plan. Um, so yeah, I don't. Like I've said in the book, I don't regret writing people's names down and saying certain things, because even if you end up with someone else in the future, that doesn't minimise them either. Do you know what I mean? It just meant in that period that was where your attention was, and that's how strongly you felt. But we have to draw a line somewhere. I'm getting fed up tying myself to people who are not available and don't make me feel very good about myself. I want to have that excitement where you meet someone. It's serendipitous. It's out of nowhere. Um, and you both, I just want someone who gives me the same attention I give them. I'm not asking to be clingy or anything, but it'd be nice if like you're like the first person they're thinking of in certain moments, and they're excited to reach out and talk to you. In the same way it'd be for me. Um, Not that you're the afterthought, or maybe they shouldn't be talking to you because they're in this situation. It's like, I don't need the complications of that. I don't even want that shit. I don't ask for that. You know, this isn't supposed to be a rant about me. Like someone made loads of mistakes and they don't. And it's spiteful. It's not spiteful. I just feel like it's reached a conclusion. And it's sad because I think if we rewound time, went back, better decisions could have been made. Unfortunately, it didn't. So if in the future they do recognise that this was the connection that should have happened, it's like, well, it's not my fault it didn't happen. I was always available. I was always there. I always waited. I can't be expected to wait forever, And when the situation gets that complicated, it's like It's not my doing. That's not my responsibility, is it? Um, I can't fix every situation, and I deserve to be happy too. And that's what I'm prioritizing here to say, look, I deserve to be happy, and I wish people well on their journey. Um, but you can't always feel the position, I guess. But for me, it was the ignorance for a week. I think was just for me was the one step too far. Like of all the culminations of everything that's happened, it was like that's just enough now, because it emphasizes the situation where I'm like the third wheel in a sense. I don't want to talk to someone when they're in a relationship, and it weren't flirty in any way. Just like just rekindling and talking to each other. But for me, it's like, what's the point? You're with someone, and even though maybe there's relationship issues, that's not for me to be in the middle of that. Um, and it may be in a couple of months, maybe they'll be single again. But then again, it's like you're reaching out to me because I can feel the role of a parent. I think, I think we all deserve to feel special. I think that's what it comes down to. And like I say, it's just sad that sequence of events can happen. But I think if anything, it epitomizes the fact that we do have free choice, and we can mess it up. We have the ability to. So I think some people are a bit reckless. They think everything will work out. Everything I can do what I want. Everything will work out in the end. It doesn't always work that way. Doesn't always work that way. Um, I'm sick and tired of keeping myself available, holding myself back while everybody else is reckless, in the hope that it comes together. So why should I be the one that's always waiting? I mean, I want to be happy. I want to meet someone. I want to be like living a good life. And I'm sick and tired of holding myself prisoner to a circumstance, just waiting and hoping if someone comes along, and it's like, that's not healthy. It's not. So anyway, like I say, I have caused an end to that. So now that means I'm free as a bird. So if I do end up meeting anybody new, it won't be with this hanging over my head. Whereas in the past, it would have been a case of, I'm not sure, just in case this happens, because now I'm no longer looking at if this happens. It's not an option anymore. It was really overly complicated, and I was prepared to deal with the complications. But you have to feel like you're special, though. You need to feel like you're valid and you wanted, and you appreciated, not just an option. Um, that was more the that was biggest thing for me, was the feeling of a burden. You know, like only talking when it's convenient, and it's like these things. It's like I said, I just want someone where I can literally, they're excited to talk to you, like you're excited to talk to them. Um, Shouldn't be too much to ask, should it? But unfortunately, we don't always get that. So, it's the reality is, when we make decisions, how people process that decision, there's not much we can do about it. They might feel hurt, they might feel betrayed, they might feel this, that. It's like I can't do anything about it. They reached out to me in January just to say hi. We hadn't spoke for a year anyway, so they blocked me for a year. So I already felt like slanted in that period. Like, you chose, I felt betrayed in that period. The whole year I felt betrayed. And then we just start talking for a couple of weeks, and then they freeze again, and it's like, this is that hot and cold shit, and I can't handle it. It's like, either you want to talk to me, or you don't want to talk to me. Um, but I can't deal with that shit anymore. I just can't keep doing it. It's just a waste. It's a waste of my life. I've had it. It's a bit like where I went through family court, and I went to go back again, and it was obviously going to be the same sequence of events, and it was like, I don't want to repeat cycles. So I walked away, and everyone thought I was crazy walking away from the second hearing when I met, because I'm the one that applied for it. But I was like, no, I'm not doing it. It's going to be the same crap over again. I could see it, and I'm not repeating it. And I could see this situation is, I'm not doing it again. I'm not spending a year of my life holding myself captive to the hope of an outcome when I can free myself, and you never know what happens in life then. I'd rather be free. I've given all I can to a connection. Um, yeah, this isn't supposed to be like a rant. I was really just trying to clear it up, just to show people that, situations can change, and it's really important. You don't, because a lot of women do this. They meet people in the same way I've met someone, and you get attached to them, and because they've probably got great personality. There's certain things you just absolutely idolize about them, but at some point you've got to let them go. You can't. What it is, you can't stay attached to an idea, because that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. You're staying attached to the idea of how you see life. Like, I see life with this person. I see my life with this, in this scenario, and it's perfect. And it would be great if different decisions had been made. That could have been a reality. So that's what you hold on to. You hold on to that dream, that reality of what could have been. And it's like, unfortunately, decisions happen, and that reality is no longer existent. But you hold on anyway, and it's like, that's not healthy. It's not healthy. We have to move on in life. I had a premonition, I think it was last year, and they were in that premonition. Literally, it was me, them, and a child, and they've literally got a child now. So it's like, maybe that was the child, and that was literally us in the future, happy, thriving, doing well for ourselves. So that shows that that's what could have happened, and perhaps should have happened, or should happen. Um, but I can't keep living like this. I don't like it. I mean, I use my tarot cards. I ask spirit all the time. I get signs everywhere, even over my social media. I kid you not. I keep getting the same letter all the time. This person, you're going to marry this person. Thinking, I'm like, but I'm getting, in my mind, I'm getting tired. Like, there's no point keep giving me the sign. I'm sick of it now. I can't keep doing it. In the same way, that vision of the future, that's a beautiful vision, no doubt. But I can't keep doing it anymore. I can't keep holding myself captive in the idea that this dream becomes a reality. It's like, it's going to have to be a different thing. In the same way, they had the freedom of choice to make their decisions. They got to be in relationships with other people. They got to do this. They got to do that. They got to be free to do it. And they altered their path. But then that means I also have the freedom to do it too. So although that prior path exists in one timeline, this is my spiritual side talking, another timeline exists where that doesn't happen. And that's the timeline that's going to have to expand and become the current reality then, because I can't do it anymore. I'm just I love myself too much to allow someone to make me a fool. That's what it is. So yeah, the new timeline is going to develop, and we'll see where that leads now. Um, it's a bit of a heavy heart because that was my person, but I am someone that when I draw a line in the sand now, I do get a bit emotionless. In all honesty, it's not like I'll just sit there and mope over it. Once I press the button, for me, the timeline closes. It's the boundary set, and we move forward. I don't want someone keep pulling me in, pulling me out, pulling me in, pulling me out. It's just it drives me nuts. It really does. I just want the same commitment that I'm prepared to extend to someone else. That's all. That's not being controlling. Some people may put it down that it's not. It's just like when you're in a commitment, you're in a commitment, aren't you? It's like I've got your back, you've got my back. Um, I think about you regularly. You'll think about me regularly. You just you're just together. You're in collaboration together. And you are the main characters. That's what I want. At the moment, I feel like a secondary character, and it's like, I don't want to be a secondary character. So I'm going to be the main character that's free to meet another main character. And we'll see where life takes us. So let's just see what happens now. I'll use my tarot cards in the next few weeks, see where life's taking me. I won't do it right now because it's fresh. Well, I might do just to say, does spirit agree with my decision? They probably don't because, to be honest, we don't always agree. Let me get my cards. Right, I'm not getting the other camera this time. Normally I get two cameras and I can't be asked and I don't want to. So normally I do it so the cards can be seen when they drop. Now I'm not here to prove anything to anyone because I couldn't give a shit. So I'm not doing two cameras this time. There's a lot of messing about. Huh. So straight away we got the sun. I haven't even asked anything yet. And I'm like, well, I'm doing it my way. Um, does spirit agree with me blocking and then ending the connection? Hmm. That's Seven of Pentacles. That one's not too clear. That would argue that you're building towards something, but you're waiting for things to blossom. Oh, I did get something fall out there. Oh, the moon. You don't see what's coming. You can't really see. There's fears, but you don't. Maybe fears, but illusions. Do I have other romantic soulmates? Do I do I have other potential romantic soulmates? Same card again. Were they my divine counterpart? Were they my divine counterpart? Well, we've got the Ace of Wands, but it's upside down, so. Oh, wow. But back a deck the star. Doesn't show the lovers, though, or anything like that. Or Two of Cups. Wow, Ace of Wands again. This time up. Death, transformation, new beginning. Rebirth. Will I get married in this lifetime? Well, we've got juggling. We're having to stand your ground, and you've got to balance. Who knows? Oh, wow, we've got 10 of Cups on the back. Yeah. I just can't do it anymore. I think I've already asked Spirit if I should have ended the connection. But no, I'm just tired. I think the thing is, I feel lonely in general, and I feel lonely with the connection. Well, that's weird. Now you get the wedding. Four of Wands, level 11. Literally, get the wedding card. Mm. That comes out, and you get the freaking back of deck. absolute exhaustion. Oh wow, got the wedding and then the lovers. You having a laugh? That's crazy. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna let life take its course now, and just I'm not gonna think too much. I'm gonna focus more on the career right now, and if I meet someone or a situation happens, then I'll jump into it. Because I'm open. I'm open to opportunities in love. But for now, I can't. You can't control things like that. You know, you can't control who you meet and where you're going to meet them. Oh wow! And I said that like, I'm going to focus on my career and things. Then I get the high priest, which is the hierophant, which is a spiritual teacher. Which is I think that's probably what they want me doing anyway. Is the because my next book's a spiritual book. I think that's what they want me to jump into the connection with spirit. Because where I feel lonely with in life, it's like I'm not alone. I'm alone in the spirit. Got the lovers again. I think they want me to focus on the connection with them more than anything else. Build on that, that's for sure. Three of Wands. Um, but I don't want to be a bloody monk. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be a monk. That's how it feels. It feels like my life is destined to be like a monk's life. I don't want to be a monk. I really don't. I don't want to live this life solo my whole way through. I've got more to give than that. Oh wow. Okay. Now we've got temperance, but it did come out upside down, so could argue it's unbalanced. But you do want I want community. And I want passion. You know, I want passion. I want to be creative. I want to be inspired. You want to be sensual. Yeah. Just life's heavy. Life gets too heavy sometimes. Yeah. The world's a completion of a cycle. It's like contemplating. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on love anymore, but just sometimes it's important. I think sometimes closing a chapter, yeah, it's strong and wise. I think sometimes closing the chapter is just as big as starting something. You know, it's a bit like that death card that come out. It was death transformation, new beginnings. So it's a new version. Um, at some point, someone had to do it, and I just feel, yeah, cups. That's emotional intelligence. I just think at some point someone had to make the decision. There's no point. You're either in a relationship together with the potential to like a love thing. Maybe you do get married one day. You build a family. There's potential for that, or or you just go your own way. It's like that's the way I see it. I don't want to. There's no point just like keeping me at a safe distance all the time, just in case. It's like no, I'm not a just in case sort of person. So this is the start of something new.